My name's Olmo Lazarus. I'm a spoken word artist, poet. I still don't really know the difference between what those two things actually are. And I operate in Basildon, but I perform kind of like the South End, Thurrock and London areas mostly. I got into the scene a couple of years ago, kind of came in from hip hop originally, like a lot of hip hop artists. Got to an age where saying that you're a rapper stopped impressing people and started just making them look at you like you'd kind of like made some pretty bad decisions in your life. And then so we kind of made a transition to poetry a couple of years ago. Started performing in the London scene. I was part of a collective then called Torytown Poets. There were two of us going around doing things. And then in those days I was mostly writing about what it was like growing up in Basildon and a lot of stuff about how I work in schools, so a lot of stuff about how kids are growing up in Basildon now. A lot of stuff was about youth and that. As time's gone on, my stuff's changed slightly. I write a little bit more about myself than I used to. I think maybe I'm becoming increasingly egotistical or something. I would say like at least 50% of what I write about is kind of very like social commentary and about where I'm from, and about 50% of stuff is about like kind of my life and my experiences. Well, yeah, so where I'm doing the poetry workshops in schools and stuff, and they're starting to, the amount of bookings I'm getting is certainly starting to increase. I would see myself in 5 years' time being able to make a living from that and that alone, from poetry only. I've got to the point now with it where I'm making enough money through selling books and doing gigs and doing workshops and stuff that I've been able to go part-time in my job, and as that hopefully keeps increasing, going full-times, and I think that's every artist's dream, isn't it, just to make money from their art. Most of my inspirations kind of come from music really, because although I consider myself a poet now, it was music that kind of got me into the scene. So I'd have to say, and a lot of people would say it, but Joe Strummer of The Clash, absolutely. Tim Armstrong of Rancid. And Mike Skinner of The Streets actually, because Mike Skinner was the first rapper that I ever heard who just sounded like a bloke down a pub, having a pint, chatting and talking, and that was really interesting to me because I'd only really been exposed to American hip hop. I've been very fortunate that through some of my links of work, I'm a creative industries ambassador with the Foundation for Essex Arts, and in collaboration with them and Towngate Theatre, I've started an open mic poetry night in Basildon called Poetry in Commotion. Now, as far as I'm aware, it's the only open mic night themed mostly, or at least solely, around poetry in Basildon. And Basildon has suffered, where we've seen quite a nice little boom in the arts in Southend, quite a nice little boom in the arts in Thurrock, and I think Metal's works had an awful lot to do with that. Sometimes in Basildon it does feel like nothing's kind of happening. There are a couple of characters that are really pushing it hard for the music scene in Basildon. I think people like Hippie Joe, and they're doing amazing work, but for poets there's kind of nowhere to go. So we're hoping that starting off this event is going to be a little bit of a hub that writers and poets and rappers and MCs and all those kind of people can kind of come together and attend. And then we'll make it a monthly event and hopefully get a little bit of a scene kind of going. There's a thing about poets where we think if we sell anything, we've all of a sudden sold out. We have to be like, I don't know, rotting away in the loft somewhere to be credible. Yeah, I've got a new book out called Cro-Magnon Plan. This represents about a year's worth of writing. Basically, I've attempted to kind of do what musical artists do when they create a concept album, where every individual song is an individual song, but when pieced together they kind of tell a very loose narrative. There is a kind of like a shape of a story there. And this kind of loosely tells the story of what's happened to me in the last year of my life. And it's been a bit of an interesting year. So there's some serious downs, but there's some serious ups as well. And it's out there. It's relatively cheap, $5.99. You can only get like 2 pints of beer for that these days. So you drink 2 pints of beer, they're gone. Got a poetry book for life. So you can buy the book from my website, which is www.poetrytosucceed.co.uk. And then there'll be the shop tab on there. But it's on Amazon and it's on Facebook and stuff as well. If you find me on social media, I'm a Lazarus, you'll be able to find my book pretty quickly.